How are you? Didn't see you at first. I'm in the middle of juggling a bunch of things. I suppose you are too. Wanted to take a few moments to sort of catch us up on some of the things going on in our class, some of the things that are on my mind, and to clarify some of the things that I've shared with you all in the last couple of emails. First of all, thank you very much for the various assignments you're turning in. I'm enjoying reading not only your outlines, but now your overviews and your discussions on mindfulness. I wanted to talk about the one-on-one sessions, the half class session, and the conference. One-on-one sessions, you all got Samantha's email. Most of you have signed up. I'll be talking to you all and seeing you all on either Thursday or Tuesday for 15 minutes, during which we will zero in on things most relevant to you as it relates to class and practice, your papers, your overviews, your outlines, anything else that you'd like to talk about. And if you'd like to schedule a time for a longer conversation, we will do so. Secondly, the half class. We're going to, rather than have a 3-hour class for one of the makeups, we're going to have, as we did before, 2 half class sessions. Those sessions will run about 1 hour and 20 minutes each. And I am trying to coordinate the best time. I think that the 12:30 to 1:50 is useful when we're in class on campus, but it may not be as useful now. And so I thought that for some of you, you might like the idea of doing 9 till 10:20 or 9:30 to 10:50 or 10 to 11:20, that kind of a thing earlier. And so that's why I'm requesting your input on when you would like to meet, if you have a preference outside of 12:30 to 1:50, because then when we send out a doodle for you all to sign up for one of the 2 classes, we can have it where we sort of get that right in terms of the sweet spot of what you all are interested in. Those will be classes where we'll zero in on some subject matter of mindfulness and law, talk about the class in general, and zero in on your papers and questions you have about your papers and presentations, which brings us to the presentations. Mindful Law Student Conference. It's one of the most enjoyable aspects of the semester for me and for students because it all comes together. Usually we get together on a Saturday or Sunday for an extended period of time and everybody presents on what they're writing about and they get to hear feedback from their classmates and answer questions. But I have a funny feeling that being on Zoom from 8:30 to 3:30, trying to sort of figure out how to do that in a way that carries meaning and sustains focus is going to be asking a lot of us. So that's why I'm thinking about having smaller sessions that might be 1.5 hours to 2 hours in length, where there'll be a smaller group of people, probably thematically organized around what you all plan to talk about. And I'm thinking about how to do that in a way that you can all present on your papers. By the way, these are about 5, 6, 7-minute presentations that are casual in a certain sense. They're serious, but it's a casual environment for us to have those conversations. I'll get you more information on that as I hear a little bit more from you all in terms of whether that would be of interest to you and what day and time frame works for you between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I know that this is a weekend where we've got Easter, and so nothing is intended to put you in a situation where you have to navigate around your own personal ways of wanting to spend this weekend. So make sure that you don't feel that pressure at all. That's why there's the Saturday, and that's why I'm adding Friday in some respects, which might be useful for those of you for whom Saturday may not be ideal. Alrighty, you've got the email that I sent out requesting by tomorrow some feedback in that regard, and that feedback will be very helpful to us. Also, I've modified the class website so that the various videos that I'm sending you in emails that are also available in a more permanent way on the class website is now broken up by video messages, which are sort of administrative statements, comments I'm making to you about class in general, the video discussions and demonstrations. That's where we have like the spiral and what I put up this week, the going granular. This is more learning material, some of which comes from class, like the spiral, but much of which doesn't come from class. It's prior material that I think you'll find useful from classroom experience, or things that I'm developing so that you can watch them asynchronously at your convenience to continue to enrich and inform the learning experience without having to have extra class time for that purpose. And Also video practices. So for example, a couple weeks ago I did the open monitoring practice in class. That's available, and anytime I do practices or pull practices from previous classes, I'll put them up there. And as well, you'll find open monitoring and the other practices all on the app, the So Be Mindful app, which you should get a thing to update, and that will provide you with a direct link to the mindfulness practices, and you'll see how you can clearly find a bunch of different practices, including a group of open monitoring practices. All right, what else? Paul Singerman. You're going to be meeting with Paul this Friday. I know you're going to enjoy meeting with him, and he will enjoy meeting with you. I saw Paul this weekend, and he was kind enough to record video, a little welcome and suggestion for you all in terms of that do not interrupt practice. That it's now Tuesday. It hopefully has been on your mind. Hopefully you have been practicing do not interrupt, but if for some reason this is the first time you're rethinking it, let the video segment from Paul, which will follow this, be a reminder, and also help create a little bit of a nice anticipation of getting to spend time with somebody who's just an extraordinary lawyer and human being, Paul Singerman. Alrighty, lastly, your morning cup of Zen. I hope you're enjoying those. I thought the other day when I was practicing in the morning and we're not really getting to be together in person, that it's a really nice time to practice in the morning. And I wanted to share with you a little bit about that, the way that felt for me. So I'm putting together these 5 to 10 minute lightly guided practices and sharing them with you each day. And I'm putting them up on the website also in the event that there's one or two that you like in particular, so that you can go back and watch those. And you're welcome to share these with friends or family or others if you think that they would find them of interest. Alrighty, I hope you all have a very nice day and rest of the week. I look forward to seeing you on Friday.
Hello, I'm Paul Singerman. I look forward to visiting with you and learning with and from you in Professor Rogers' class this coming Friday. I think I've never been more grateful to Professor Rogers for his encouragement of my study and practice of mindfulness many years ago than I am now. We're in unprecedented and challenging times, and I've found extraordinary comfort in my mindfulness practice and the awareness it's brought me. At times important for me to refocus and return to the present moment in order to manage my way through the issues that we're all dealing with related to COVID-19. I understand that one of your assignments for our class together on Friday will be to read an article, or an interview rather, that was conducted of me by Professor Rogers and published in the ABA small firm journal on mindful listening. I understand that you'll be engaged in your own mindful listening exercise in advance of the class. Be kind to yourself during this practice. It's hard. Many of us interrupt unknowingly. Many of us, especially lawyers, have been trained to interrupt, and I'll unpack that during our class on Friday. I wish you good luck. I'm very anxious to hear of how your experience with mindful listening goes in advance of our class, and be safe until we're together.